Question number 51. A system administrator is tasked with deploying a lightweight application environment that can be launched quickly, requires minimal system resources, and runs consistently across both on-premises servers and cloud platforms. Which of the following technologies would best meet this requirement? And the options are option A, serverless functions, option B, hypervisor type 1, option C, hypervisor type 2, and option D, containers. And the correct option is option D, container. So containers meet these requirements that they are lightweight and they can be launched very quickly, and they also require minimal system resources, as well as they can be used cross platforms such as on-premises servers as well as inside the cloud. So let's go to the explanation. So containers are lightweight, portable environments that package an application and all its dependencies, ensuring consistent performance across different platforms, whether on-premises or in the cloud. They require minimal system resources compared to virtual machines and can be launched quickly, making them ideal for such deployment scenario. So the other options, the incorrect options are the serverless functions. So they are good for event-driven workloads, but not for applications requiring consistent runtime environments across platforms. Similarly, hypervisor type 1 runs directly on the bare metal hardware, which is suitable for virtualization, but is not lightweight or quick to launch. And hypervisor type 2 runs on a host operating system, which is less efficient and is not designed for minimal resource use. So the correct option is container. Question number 52. A company is setting up a physical server to act as a virtualization host for several business critical applications. The IT manager wants a storage solution that balances speed with fault tolerance so the virtual machines can keep running even if a drive fails. Which of the following should the administrator implement? And the options are So the options are option A, tape backup system, option B, eMMC storage module, option C, RAID 10 array, and option D, single SSD drive. And the correct option is option C, RAID 10 array. So RAID is basically used, and RAID stands for redundant array of independent disks. So we combine multiple disks in different combination and different strategies so that they both gives us redundancy, so that if one drive fails, the data still reside on the other drive, as well as they also gives us speed because data can be written and read from multiple drives simultaneously. So let's go to the explanation. So a RAID 10, that is 1 plus 0 array combines the benefits of RAID 0, which is striping, with the fault tolerance of RAID 1, that is mirroring. So the striping is basically data is divided across two disks, which gives us the performance because data can be simultaneously read and write to the two disks simultaneously, while the RAID 1 gives us mirroring, which is redundancy, which means that same data is written to two drive, and if one fails, the data is still available on the redundant drive. So this setup ensures that data is written and read quickly, that gives us improved performance, and the system can continue running even if one or more drives fails, which gives us high reliability. So the other options are the incorrect options. A backup system. So it is used for long-term data archiving, not for live virtualization storage. eMMC storage module is low-cost embedded storage found in mobile devices and is not suitable for server environments. And single SSD drive is fast but offers no redundancy. So single point of failure for critical application. If this drive fails, it means all your application will also fail to run. Question number 53. A marketing team is designing interactive product displays for a retail store. The plan is to attach NFC Type 4 tags to the displays so customers can scan them with their smartphone to access digital brochures. The product manager asks how much data a single NFC Type 4 tag can store. The options are option A 16 kilobyte, option B 1.4 MB, option C 32 KB, and option D 2.4 MB. And the correct option is, think about the correct option, and it is option C 32 KB. So NFC type 4 can store 32 KB of data. The NFC Type 4 tags can typically store up to 32 KB of data. They support higher data transfer speed and more advanced features like encryption compared to lower NFC types, making them ideal for interactive applications such as digital brochures or smart posters. Other options were 16 KB is common for high-end Type 3 tags, but not the maximum for Type 4. And 1.4 MB slash 2.4 MB are too large for NFC tags. Such capacities are found in other storage technologies, not NFC. Question number 54. An organization is developing a set of modern IP-based surveillance cameras for security monitoring. These devices are expected to support common methods of connecting to the local network for continuous video streaming. Which two networking interfaces are most likely built into these cameras? And the options are option A, Bluetooth, option B, Wi-Fi, option C, RJ45 Ethernet, and option D, cellular. The correct options are, we have to choose two options. The first correct option is option B, Wi-Fi, and the second correct option is option C, RJ45 Ethernet. And the explanation is, so the modern IP-based surveillance cameras typically include RJ45 Ethernet port for wired network connection, providing stable, high bandwidth links for continuous video streaming and often power over Ethernet support. Wi-Fi is used for wireless connectivity, allowing flexible placement where cabling is difficult. So other options are explained here. Other options include the Bluetooth, which is used for short range pairing or configuration, not for continuous video streaming. So as we all know, Bluetooth data transfer is very slow and they cannot be used for video streaming. Cellular, that is LTE and 5G, it is possible in remote or mobile setups but uncommon in standard enterprise or building-based surveillance systems due to the cost and data limits. Question number 55. A company uses macOS computers, but some staff need to run a program that only works on Windows. What is the best way to run this Windows software as a macOS system without replacing the macOS? And the options are option A, OS spoofing, option B, dual boot setup, option C, remote application streaming, and option D, cross-platform virtualization. And the correct option is Option D, cross-platform virtualization. And the explanation is, so cross-platform virtualization allows macOS user to run a Windows virtual machine using software like Parallels Desktop, VMware Fusion, or VirtualBox. This enables the Windows program to run inside macOS without replacing or rebooting the system. Rebooting means that if you use the dual boot system, you have to reboot the system in order to use the Windows. So the other options included the OS spoofing. It is a security evasion technique, not a method for running different operating systems. Dual boot setup lets user choose between macOS and Windows at startup, for example, boot camp, but you cannot run both simultaneously. And remote application streaming runs applications hosted elsewhere and requires network connectivity and does not install the Windows program locally. Question number 56. A network administrator is configuring a DHCP server for the office. The server should assign address automatically, but a few IP addresses must be kept free for devices such as printers and network equipment that use static addresses. Which feature of DHCP allows the admin to set aside these specific addresses so they are not handed out to clients? The options are A. DHCP exclusion, option B. DHCP reservation, option C. Static net, and option D. IP address pooling. And the correct option is option A, DHCP exclusion. Let's go through the explanation. So a DHCP exclusion allows the administrator to exclude specific IP addresses or ranges of IP addresses from the DHCP pool so that those addresses are not automatically assigned to the clients. These excluded IPs can then be manually configured on devices such as printers, switches, and routers. Other options included are DHCP reservation. So DHCP reservation assigns a specific IP address to a particular device based on MAC address, not for excluding addresses. Static NAT maps a private IP address to a public IP address for internet access, and it is unrelated to the DHCP. While IP address pooling refers to the entire range of addresses a DHCP server can assign, not the mechanism for keeping some addresses unused. Question number 57. A technician is troubleshooting weak Wi-Fi reception on a laptop. The issue is not with the network card itself, but rather with the placement of the built-in antennas that provide the strongest signal when the screen is open. Where is this wireless antenna most commonly installed? And the options are option A, mounted in the hard drive bay, option B, integrated into CPU socket, option C, beneath the keyboard, option D, next to the cooling fan, and option E, inside the display bezel. And the correct option is option E, inside the display bezel. So in most laptops, the Wi-Fi antennas are installed inside the display bezel around the screen. This placement provides the best signal strength and coverage since it positions the antenna higher and away from metal components that could interfere with radio signal. Other options are explained include the mounted in hard drive bay. So this is not related to wireless component. Integrated into CPU socket. CPU do not include antenna connections beneath the keyboard, possible for older model but results in weaker signal. And next to the cooling fan, which is not ideal due to heat and potential interference. Question number 58. A help desk technician receives a call from an employee who reports that all of their work files have suddenly been renamed with a strange new extension and cannot be opened. What should the technician do first in response to this issue? And the options are: option A, disconnect the computer from the network. Option B, run an anti-malware scan immediately. Option C, rename the files back to their original extension. Option D, reboot the system to clear temporary processes. And option E, restore the system using a recovery partition. And the correct option is option A, disconnect the computer from the network. And the explanation for this correct as well as incorrect option is: so the symptoms, files renamed with strange extension and becoming inaccessible, strongly suggest a ransomware infection. So in ransomware attack, the attacker basically encrypts the files on the system, and their extensions are changed, and then user cannot open them without the encryption or decryption key. So the first action should be to isolate the system from the network to prevent the malware from spreading to other devices or encrypting shared files. So other options are explained. Run anti-malware scan immediately. It is important, but only after isolation to prevent further spread. So this step can be done after isolating the system from the network. Rename the files back. This option is ineffective. Ransomware encrypts the data, not just renames it. Reboot the system might trigger further encryption or loss of decryption keys. And restoring using recovery partition should be done after containment and investigation, not the first step. So this may be the last step in overall process, but not the first. Question number 59. A managed service provider needs to troubleshoot at Windows 11 workstation at a client's remote office. The technician must connect directly to the system's desktop and interact with it as if sitting in front of it. Which remote access technology is best suited for this task? And the options are: option A, RDP, option B, VNC, option C, VPN, and option D, RMM. And the correct option is option A, RDP, that is Remote Desktop Protocol. So RDP allows a technician to remotely access and control the full desktop of a Windows system as if physically present at the machine. It's built into Windows 11 and is ideal for direct interactive troubleshooting sessions. Other options are explained. VNC provides remote desktop access but is platform independent and not as seamless on Windows as RDP. VPN creates a secure connection to the remote network, but it does not provide desktop control by itself. And RMM, that is remote monitoring and management, is used for monitoring and maintenance, not direct interactive desktop access. Question number 60. A company is moving its services to the cloud. The IT manager wants to ensure that resources can automatically scale up during periods of high demand and scale down when demand is low, so the organization only pays for what it uses. So which of the following best describes this cloud feature? And the options are: option A, elasticity, option B, multi-tenancy, option C, availability, and option D, file synchronization. And the correct option is Option A, elasticity. And the explanation is, so the elasticity in cloud computing refers to the ability to automatically scale resources up or down based on demand. This ensures optimal performance during high usage and cost savings during low activity because you pay only for what you use. Other options are multi-tenancy, is multiple customers share the same physical infrastructure securely. Availability refers to system uptime and reliability, not automatic scaling. And file synchronization keeps file consistent across devices and is unrelated to resource scaling. So that's all for this video. I hope it has been informative and of help to you in your certification of CompTIA A+. If you are planning for CompTIA A+ Core 2 as well, I have a complete course on the Core 1 as well as Core 2, and I am planning to upload the practice questions of Core 2 pretty soon. So please like, share the video and subscribe for upcoming content.